Hello guys. Now I will tell you all the most important things about the enchantments in the Minecraft and how to enchant objects correctly, as well as the best enchantments for each item in the Minecraft. After all, when you enchant an object on a table of enchantments, the next enchantments will be random, and maybe you will fall for exactly the enchantment you are looking for. I advise you to stand on the experience farm and accumulate to level 30, no more, because the higher your level, the longer you have to accumulate it, because the required amount of experience will constantly grow for each next level. But if you have to enchant a lot of things, and you're not interested in certain enchantments, then you can use a table of enchantments, but you are sometimes asked to cast off bad enchantments using unnecessary objects. After all, when you enchant an object on a table of enchantments, the next enchantments will be random, and maybe you will fall for exactly the enchantment you are looking for. And to be able to charm things to the maximum level, you only need 15 bookshelves, and the additional shelves will only be decoration. But as I said, I don't advise you to use an enchantment table because you can't choose the enchantment you want, and not all enchantments available on the table. And it could be that you decided to use an enchantment table, and then you wanted to do other enchantments, but you can't because it's too expensive. But if you've chosen to enchant the anvil, you'll notice that with each new enchantment the cost of enchantment grows and each enchantment requires more levels. But the main problem is not that you may lack levels, it's that if you enchant items in survival, there's a limit to the maximum required level. This limit is 40 levels and you will either have to remove enchantments from the subject, losing experience, or walk with what you have achieved. This is all the fault of the penalty system, essentially enchanting the item every time. We add the level of its fine and the formula of adding a penalty looks like this. X equals X asterisk 2 plus 1. That is, we multiply the previous penalty by 2 and add 1 and that level we will need to pay as a fine. For examples, if you enchanted an object and it cost 7 levels, the following enchantment will cost you already in 15 levels. So such ways of enchantment, as the step-by-step overlay of books on the instrument, or combining all books in one and then impose them on the subject do not work, because they will require too many levels. Let's look at it with the sword. The best charms on a sword are Fire Aspect 2 allowing you to ignite mobs and players, Looting 3 increasing the amount of drop, Sweeping Edge 3 allowing you to hit many mobs, Knockback 2 at your discretion, Unbreaking 3 making your weapon and armor stronger, Mending allowing you to fix your item with experience, and Smite 5 or Sharpness 5 is better to choose Smite if you are playing in the single world because Sharpness deals increased damage to players, Smite does lot of damage to mobs, but if you playing on PvP server it is better to choose Sharpness. Another plus is that you will never be able to get Mending on the table of enchantments, because Mending is bought from a villager in the village. So how to charm the subject at a maximum of books, but at the same time spend a minimum of experience? You have to pair books together, because I have an odd number of books. I enchant a sword on one of the books, and now I pair the remaining books together. And now we enchant our new books one by one, but if we enchant a sword with one book, the last one would have to pay about 90 levels, and in survival it would be impossible, so by combining our pairing books, we were able to enchant our sword with 7 different spells and at the same time spend a minimum of levels. Since we've dealt with the sword and the penalty system, we're moving on to other instruments. Fishing rod. Luck of the Sea 3 which reduces the chance to catch debris. Lure 3 which reduces the waiting time for catching items. Mending and Unbreaking 3. Bow. Flame and Power 5. Unbreaking free and Mending or Infinity of your choice, because Mending and Infinity are incompatible, but I advise you to use Infinity, because your bow will break for a very long time because of Unbreaking 3. Axe. Efficiency 5, Sharpness 5, Mending, Unbreaking 3, Silk Touch. Shovel. Efficiency 5. Mending. Unbreaking 3. Silk touch. Pickaxe. Efficiency 5. Mending. Unbreaking 3. Silk touch. But I advise you to make 2 pickaxes. One is with silk touch and the other is with fortune 3. Trident. Impaling 5, which deals increased damage to mobs underwater. There are still additional enchantments. Loyalty 3 allows you to return the trident to your hands. Riptide allows you to travel during rain thanks to the trident. And channeling, which causes lightning. But it doesn't work with the rest of the spells. Crossbow. Piercing 4. Quick charge 3. Mending and unbreaking 3. And now let's move on to armor. We will use netherite armor because it is better than diamond armor and does not burn in lava. You may not have known, but there is a protection factor in the Minecraft that is responsible for absorbing the damage you receive. The maximum protection factor is 20, and each unit is 4%, which means we can get as many as 80 damage absorption events. But we understand that there is no point in enchanting all the armor with one type of protection because we won't get more than 20 units of absorption. For example, if we enchant all armor on fire protection, we will get 32 units of protection, but knowing that we have a limit will result that 12 units will be useless and fire protection will not affect. But this factor does not limit the overall protection of the 4th level, and we need to understand that all types of protection are incompatible. So what we need to do is figure out what is best. Use different types of protection separately, or simply charm the entire armor with protection 4. And the check shows that a variety of defenses worsens the results, because using just protection 4 on all armor we protect ourselves at once from all kinds of damage. And if you try to diversify our armor with additional enchantments, they will reduce the overall level of our protection and therefore make you more vulnerable. And so protection 4 is what we need, and it's great plus that it protects us from magic and potions and no additional enchantments will save you from it. And now for the enchantments of armor. Let's start with the helmet. Aqua Affinity allows us to break the blocks underwater at normal speed. Respiration allows you to breathe underwater longer. Protection 4, Unbreaking 3 and Mending. Next, chestplate. Feather Falling 4 reduces the damage from falling. Protection 4, Mending and Unbreaking 3. Similarly, enchant leggings. And boots. Soul Speed 3 allows faster running on soul sand. Protection 4. Depth Strider 3 allows fast running underwater. Mending and Unbreaking 3. Now you know how to enchant objects correctly and how to enchant them. I am not saying goodbye. I will see you again.
Fly with me.